going to fight. And as the next president of the United States always says, when we fight, when we fight, when we fight, thank you. God bless.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz accepts the nomination for vice president in an electrifying speech tonight at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. He was joined by a slew of Democratic heavyweights and Hollywood A-listers.
That's right. Skylar Henry has been monitoring it all from the convention floor and has the latest.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz stepped into the spotlight inside Chicago's United Center on the third night of the Democratic National Convention, formally accepting the nomination to serve as Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate.
So go ahead, say it with me. We're not going back. We've got something better to offer the American people.
Chicago's own Oprah Winfrey made a surprise appearance, pledging her full support to the Harris-Walz ticket in what was her first time speaking at a political convention.
Let's all choose Kamala Harris!
Former President Bill Clinton also spoke, warning Democrats to avoid overconfidence.
We've seen more than one election slip away from us when we thought it couldn't happen.
Tonight is considered Governor Walz's debut on a national stage. He was a relative unknown about a month ago, but a new CBS News poll finds that some 60% of Democratic voters say they're enthusiastic about it. Walz highlighted his upbringing in a small Nebraska town, his service in the Army National Guard, and his work as a high school teacher and football coach, work that eventually led to Congress and the Minnesota State Capitol. Actress Mindy Kaling was the night's celebrity host, and comedian Kenan Thompson hosted a game of Hollywood Squares featuring delegates. Musicians John Legend, Maren Morris, and Stevie Wonder kept the party going on the convention floor. Tomorrow, Harris will cap off the DNC with a speech and accept her party's nomination for president. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Chicago.
And there's just one more day left of the DNC that will close out with a highly anticipated speech from Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, joining us now to break down highlights from tonight and what's still to come is our CBS 8 political analyst, Laura Fink. Laura, what a night tonight.
What a night.
Yeah, electric. I mean, Tim Walz kind of needed to introduce himself to the larger American public. Do you think he delivered?
I think he did. Introduced by one of his students, an entire offensive and defensive line of former players that he coached. And you did get a feel for him tonight. And he is 100% himself on that stage. He's not used to stages like this, as he said, but he really talked about neighbors. He talked about common sense. He talked about really bringing America back to our core values, and I think it resonated. The arena sure liked it.
Absolutely. I mean, they were going crazy. And he did not shy away from his military record. I mean, he's getting a lot of criticism from the Republicans about his service in the National Guard. But, I mean, he started with his service.
He seems unfazed by the criticism. Sergeant Walz, he has more than 20 years of service. And then he decided to run for Congress. And then he served on the Veterans Affairs Committee and really worked on legislation to help veterans. So he's not shying away from anything. He's not afraid to take a punch. He knows the tackles or attempted tackles are going to come.
Gotcha. And one of the big surprises of this evening that was kept under wraps was Oprah Winfrey. I mean, what did you make of that?
How do you keep Oprah a secret? I don't know, but they did. Oprah Winfrey is so brilliant at narrative. She tied the civil rights movement and the young girls who integrated schools in the South to Kamala Harris being the first to integrate her school in Oakland, California, and just the potential of America. She also called upon independents to vote, and she said voting is the best of America, and that independents like her should vote for America. This is the strongest, or one of the strongest endorsements that Oprah has ever made, and I believe the first time on a convention stage.
Absolutely. I mean, she's an independent herself, and she was also calling on the undecideds to come out.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
And I think one of her key lines was common sense, not nonsense. I think that resonated with a lot of people out there.
Yes, well, she was in her neutral purple on the stage that night. But the stars were really, out there, and the energy was out there, and it was up. And you can imagine, you don't want to follow Oprah, but there were several speakers after her.
Yeah.
So a packed night, but an arena, and really, what was it that Kamala Harris said that it's only in America that the daughter of Oakland and the son of Nebraska would come together. And so really a American ticket tonight.
Absolutely. What did you think of Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton was surprising. He was known for his oratory, and we know the Obamas were, but really he was the original from a little town called Hope. So he knows that story, a parallel story from a small town to Tim Walz. And so he really showed that he's still got it.
He still got it, and it also showed a shifting, I think, from the old guard to the new guard, and just really a nice way to sort of wrap up day 3, going into day 4 tomorrow.
I mean, well, you go from Biden, and then you have Clinton that's sort of the same age, Hillary Clinton a couple nights ago. These really are generations of Democrats on the stage tonight. And don't forget Republicans, too. We had a few Republicans every single night saying, that you're not a Democrat if you vote for Kamala Harris, you're a patriot. So a real attempt by the Democrats to try to reach out to people who don't have a D by their name.
All right, political analyst Laura Fink. Laura, as always, thank you for your insights.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.